So in prep for the new Daredevil Born Again series, I want to take a closer look at some of my Daredevil Hot Toys figures. So let's get into it and see what he has to offer. Hey guys, so welcome back to the channel. So today I want to take another pass at the latest Daredevil figure from the Hot Toys 1/6 collection, right? This is in honor of the new Daredevil Born Again series coming out in March of 2025, right? So yeah, I want to kind of go back and take a close look at this figure because I really do like it overall. This is the latest iteration of 1/6 scale figures from Hot Toys. The costume is very different than his Netflix costume overall and does look pretty decent, right? It does have a different sort of style of coloring, but you can see here that the costume does look generally pretty good. Has some decent layering in terms of the actual coloring. Also different kinds of colors, right? From not just that red, yellow, but you also get a lot of silver accents on it throughout the body. The red costume does look a little different in terms of the coloring and some of the actual material used. You can see here that it is somewhat similar, but this yellow costume is a little different and is featured very well. And I do like the overall feel of it. Taking a quick look at his package unbox, you can see here that his accessories and hand molds are packaged very well. On his right hand side, he has his right hand molds, and on his left, obviously, his left hand molds. You get his billy clubs also on his right hand side, and his head sculpt as well as glasses as left. So overall, good packaging. Next, moving on to the design of the figure itself, he does look pretty sweet in my opinion, right? You can see here from the actual look of the body and also his arm position, looks pretty straightforward and natural, right? He has a lot of nice layering throughout his costume. It's not flat and or just one layer, right? You can kind of see all the different layers of his costume in terms of the chest area, his pants, and his arms. He does have a slight gap there in the back area by his butt in the pants, but that doesn't look too bad. You do see a lot of these small details in terms of holding the costume together, right? Also around the arms, a lot of the raised bevels throughout the costume, which is great. I really also like the knee pads inside his shin guards, especially where his billy clubs are held. That looks really nice and clean. It stands up very well, in my opinion, to that point as well. So nice overall design there. Boots look pretty solid, right? Like on the bottom there, you saw, and it has a very combat feel, which is good. Really love the cowl mask on him, right? How it's sort of like weathered, looks worn down, doesn't look too flat and are single dimensional colors. And just the costume itself and how they sort of seamlessly integrate together look great. A lot of the different layers, even in between his abs, chest, everything look perfect. So I really, really do like this costume overall. Next, moving on to the accessories that come with Daredevil, he does come with a really good amount, right? We'll start off with Charlie Cox's head sculpt here. Now, this has a very good likeness to the actual actor, rather, right? Charlie Cox. He looks amazing in terms of his face, the hair, the ears, eyes, nose, and even mouth, right? You can see all the different layers of his hair and how it's combed through very well. I also like how they kept his mouth a shade open and not closed. So you can kind of, see more details around his teeth and kind of that gives you that not so badass look, right? So really good head sculpt there overall, and very good likeness to Charlie Cox. In terms of the different hand molds, right? I believe it comes with 10 pairs of hand molds total. These are the closed fist ones. Rather, one is closed on the right, one is open to hold his billy club on the left. A lot of great details in terms of the stitching that you can see here on both sides. And again, I really like that yellow weathered effect that you have on the armor pads there. And you can see how it looks when it's closed knuckle there. So a lot of good details. In terms of the gesture hands, for his right hand, you can see here these are gesture hands that again have really good layering and weathered coloring on the yellow armor on the back part of the hand. Thumbs and finger placement look good. They're not too closed off, too wide. And again, I really do like that stitching. You can see there on the inside of the thumb. That gives it a lot of extra layering and gives it sort of like a realistic look, right? Rather than have it to be more of a flat sort of, dead look to me, right? So it has a lot of different layers there, which is awesome. Now moving on to his left hands here. Again, it's the same, just on the left hand side. So left is the closed fist. And then the one on the right here is this open fist that holds the billy clubs. Again, a lot of nice details throughout the actual hand molds. And I really, again, like the fingers, how they've been able to capture that when it's closed, because it's very symmetrical in terms of the size, the way it looks, the way it feels, and how realistic it is, right? And then again, last, once again, are the hand gestures, but for the left-hand side, so you can see here, really good weathering effect. sort of details with the fingers themselves. The fingers again look well inside in terms of size. You don't feel out of place in terms of length, size, or shape. So that's good that they've been able to actually get that nice and cleared out there. But overall, really great set of hand molds that come with Daredevil. And I don't think I would have added anything else there, right? So yeah, really good set there. Now, in terms of the weaponry, we'll move on to his billy clubs here. So this is his wired billy club. So this is really awesome because it's representative of not just the character, but what he's able to do with his weapons, right? It's not just a bow staff or dual billy clubs, right? So you can see here the wire is really cool. A lot of you can say layering throughout the actual billy club itself. Some nice clean lines, and you can tell that the wire itself bent very easily and then bent back very nicely as well, right? So really good overall accessory there and a lot of posable options, right? Here are his dual clubs, right? So for each one for each single hand. This is the shorter one that you see here. Again, a lot of beveled sort of design patterns here throughout the actual billy clubs. And you can see that there's even at the very end of the right hand side, there's some nice, silver layering in terms of the actual model itself. All right, so really awesome there. This is sort of like the longer single billy club, right? You can see here again, same, just a little longer. And you can see here, this is the extension part of it. If it was to, disconnect the two billy clubs apart from one another, this would be the longer side, right? So that's why it's a shade longer. And then the final one here is the billy clubs connected together, right? That which gives you that sort of like longer staff look. It's not as long as a bow staff, but this is, his dual billy clubs connected. So really cool weapon set here. And, you can see him with holding it like a bat. So a really good overall weapon and a really nice set of accessories. I did forget, unfortunately, to show his glasses, which I'll show later in the video. Next, moving on to articulation of Daredevil here. We'll start off with his head, right? So in terms of the head, he does have some good rotation, looking left, looking right. You can see here a little tilt head downwards and then tilt upwards, a little tilt to the left and a little tilt to his right. So get some pretty decent head movement here. In terms of the arms, moving him laterally on both sides. It gets up pretty well, not full 180 degrees, which is fine. Movement forward, rotation is okay. In terms of the elbow bend here, pretty good, full 90-degree there, no issues. There is slight rotation of his arms, which obviously wouldn't rotate too much due to the material. Get some good hand movement there and rotation. Moving over to ab crunch, just get pretty good ab crunch there, forward and back. Gets good, decent range of motion. In terms of his legs, gets up to the 90-degree mark pretty easily. Doesn't feel stiff again, but I'm not going to push it too hard because of the material. He does have good elbow bend. I'm sorry, knee bend here as well. So get you close to 90 degrees pretty easily. In terms of the split, it doesn't split far at all, which is fine. Don't really use them there. Wouldn't put in that position too much. In terms of the toe crunch, pretty good. Gets up to about 45 degrees there. A little more facing down. No actual full rotation on the toes though, or curls rather. Some rotation there in the legs, but again, I won't push it too much because of the material. But overall, decent articulation for Daredevil. So there you have it, folks, and thanks for joining me today as we took another look at the latest Daredevil figure from Hot Toys. Right, if you're a fan of this figure and or the She-Hulk film, or rather TV series, let me know in the comments. I plan on picking this up if not already. And don't forget to smash that subscribe button for more content on the coolest Marvel figure collection around. Until next time, folks, keep on collecting.